Okay, so hey viewers, we are back again with another video. In this video, you will learn how you can master troubleshooting and debugging skills, right? It will help you to take your coding skills to another level. And we will do all of these things while developing a simple Strapi project. But why troubleshoot and debugging skills are important? Because developers spend most of the time in fixing bugs. About 99% of the time, a developer is either debugging or research, or only 1% of the time, the developer is writing the actual code. In Junior IT, we learn everything using some real world projects. So let's create a CMS or a content management system using Strapi and learn how to troubleshoot and debug. For this, we have to visit Juniorit.ai. So let's visit this. So let's come to Juniorit.ai and click on resources. So we are going to use Juniorit.ai resources to show you an example. This is our official web application. Here you can see we have lots of resources and blogs here. So just imagine you want to create a website or an application and you need a way to put information or content like text, images and videos. So a CMS or a content management system is like a special tool that makes it much easier for you to do that. You can even edit the content like a document once you set up the project. You do not have to write complex code to add more content. You can easily do this using a content management system. So basically, this is a content management system that we have used to put content into our website. You can visit this to know more about the resources and read all those resources and blogs. So now let me show you one Figma design. So this is a Figma design. We use Figma to communicate with designers. We transform the designs into the real world project using our coding skills. So let's assume in a real world scenario, you have to develop a CRM or a customer relationship manager newsletter. Just a project like this one. But how can you develop this project as a beginner? Because as a beginner without much coding knowledge, right? You do not have much coding knowledge. So today you will learn to develop this something similar to this CRM newsletter with the help of AI and Google. And we all would much focus on troubleshooting and debugging skills. So to do all of this, let's first visit GitHub Codespaces. Let's first visit GitHub Codespaces and then click on use this template. We have used the blank template because as a full stack developer, we want to learn everything from scratch. That's why we are using the blank template. Let's use the light modern theme. So once everything is set up, click on this extensions button because I want to give some superpowers to this VS Code or GitHub Codespaces, and search for Juniorit.ai and just click on the install button. This will install the Juniorit.ai assistant extension for you. Let me just close this. You can click on this extension here, and there are like 3 sections for this extension: assistant, code, and translate. So we are going to use assistant, but let's first do a research for CMS system using GitHub and AI, because before starting out a new project we always do some research work. So to create the CMS project, let's first do a research about CMS system and ask AI about some CMS system recommendations. So I am going to ask AI. Just click on this allow button if you are copy pasting some text into the assistant section. Now I have written that I need node.js CMS system recommendations for my new newsletter project. This will help me to develop the newsletter system. And I will click on ask now. The AI is suggesting us a lot of content management systems to choose from. But how to choose the best one? So let me tell you the first tip for a as what a full stack senior developer would do in this scenario. So how an expert full stack developer do some research work before starting to work on a new project. So we will use the same tips and tricks. So we are going to use GitHub to search for the best CMS system. So let me just open 2 tabs for GitHub. In one tab, I am going to search for Strapi. And in the second tab, I will search for keystone.js. Just to make a comparison between which system to choose, let me close these tabs. So we are just comparing between Strapi and Keystone.js. Let's click on Strapi first. And also Keystone.js. See, as there are more stars available and also a lot more forks available for Strapi. Also, you can see this. It's been updated just 5 days ago. So we are going to use Strapi for now because it's more updated. It's updated like currently and also has a lot of stars and fork. So now as the Strapi project has more stars and forks and it is also actively maintained. So for these reasons we are going to use Strapi. So just check the license of Strapi, because before using any project or like copying any project or like doing some research for any project, if you are on GitHub, let's always check for the license file, because license file contains all the informations that you are needed right? It has all those permissions that you have while using the different versions of the application. So in the case of Strapi, it has two types of licenses. One is Enterprise Edition and the other one is Community Edition. If you want to scale your project to commercial use, then Enterprise Edition is also available. But to learn development using Strapi, even the Community Edition is still very good. So now we are going to use Strapi. So let's start developing our project using Strapi. For this, I am going to use Google and I am going to write Strapi Development, and I am just doing a Google search. So the keyword is Strapi Development, and I am going to click on this quick start guide. So let me just increase the size a bit. Yeah, quick start guide. So this is the official documentation of Strapi. It is very important skill to read the official documentation. So now to run the installation script, we can either use yarn or npm. In our previous classes, we have used npm, but what is the difference between yarn and npm? So let's ask AI about this. So let me just copy this. To know the difference between yarn and npm, and click on ask now. So AI will generate some response for us, and it is saying that yarn and npm both are package managers for JavaScript, and yarn is generally known to be faster, so we are going to use yarn now. Okay, so if you want the quick start installation, you can just copy paste the entire command as it is, but in my case I do not want the quick start, I just want the slow start. But because we are an expert, that's why we are using the slow start, because we just want to like install everything manually. So just copy paste this command up to my project and not the quick start flag. And I'm going to write it here. Yarn create Strapi app my project. You can learn more about Yarn versus NPM using a Google search or the assistant. Because by using AI and Google, our work become much more easier. So I'm going to use the custom manual installation, and we are going to use TypeScript because it's better and harder than JavaScript, and as a full stack developer we are going to use the hard way. And to choose the database client, let's first click on sqlite, and for the file name I'm going to just throw it at as it is, just the default file name. We have used sqlite to save your time, but if you want you can do a comparison between all of these. So let's do a comparison between SQLite, Postgres and MySQL, and click on Ask Now. You can read all about this, but to save time, If we need a lightweight and embedded database, then SQLite is a good choice. And before doing a big project, we do research work, right? And to make a working prototype. So we are just making a working prototype. That's why we will use SQLite this time. Also, one more important thing to consider, that if you will Strapi development in your resume, the hiring manager will surely know that you are an expert, as mostly the expert use Strapi for backend. Let's just wait until it's installing. Now let's do what success message is suggesting us. So let's first move to cd my project and then use yarn develop command. So it will start the application for you. Let me just close this. Okay, so let's click on create the first administrator. Oh, our first error. But as an expert full stack developer, we love bugs and errors. So if you also love bugs and errors, then you are also able to handle errors and bugs in an application, and you will have more value as a developer in a company. So let's try to debug this problem. First click on the inspect button and then click on console. See, it is saying that it is refused to connect to the local host because it violates the following content security policy directives. We do not know anything about this, so let's do one research. So I'm going to search for the text here, localhost 1337. Let me just stop this and click on filed in folder. Okay, so no results. But as a full stack developer, you cannot quit. So how to find the string localhost, right, in the directory? So now we are going to use the shell commands because we are not able to find the directory using the find options, right? So let's ask AI again. Let's just close this. How to find the string http localhost 1337 in directory using shell commands. Also display line numbers along with the matching lines, and just click on ask now. So it is showing us that to find the string in a directory using shell commands and display line numbers along with the matching lines, we can use this command. So let's just directly copy paste this command. Copy the command and paste it here. See? The dot in the last signifies that we are searching the current directory. You can read more about this command using the explanation. Now this is a node environment production, right? So we will also teach you how to work with node. We will also teach you about the production mode and the development mode. But now there is some special variable, Strapi admin backend. So let's use the command to search for this. The same grep command, but this time Strapi admin backend URL. And just hit enter. So now it is saying us to use, let me just again show you. Yeah. So we have to set Linux environment variable for this to work, because right now Strapi backend admin URL has this information, but we have to set this URL here, this one. But how to set Linux environment variable? So let's ask AI again. How to set Linux environment variable? So it is suggesting us to use export command. So let's use export and the name of the variable that we want to export. And then after that, this URL. And just hit enter. To double check the value of the URL, let's use echo command. Because AI is suggesting us to use echo command. See? This is the same URL. Now because like we are using TypeScript, so after changing some code, we again need to build the app. So let's again build the app. So now use yarn develop again to run the application. So congratulations, one more error. Let's again copy this error and try to find the solution using Google. Let's click on the link because there is one open issue here. Okay. Hmm. So it is because of the new version of the node, there are some bugs. So we have to change the node version we are using. So how to change the node version? Let's again ask AI how to change the node version. and click on Ask Now. So first, to verify the node version we are using, we have to use this command. Let's copy the command and just paste it here. So we are using version 20.6.1, and to know all Node.js versions, we have to use this command. Let's again use this. So only version 20.6.1 and 18.7.1 is being installed. So before this we are using the version 20.6.1. Now let's use version 18.7.1. Let me just copy this and just paste this here, and again copy from here and paste this. Hit enter. Now again use node v command. Now we are using 18.7.1. But because we have changed the node version, we also have to rebuild our all node modules. So we also have to rebuild all the node modules. So let's use npm rebuild command this time. So it is going to rebuild all the node modules for us because we have changed the version, right? Let's again use yarn develop to see. Now I think it's working fine. Just click on create the first administrator. So now everything is working fine. I'm going to fill these details. So now we have to build. So we have to first fill the details. Then we will build the Strapi dashboard. And just click on get started and finish. So now we are able to build this dashboard by just using Google and AI. So to add more functionalities to the Strapi, we can develop the Strapi plugin we can develop the Strapi plugin, because by inserting the plugin we can have more functionalities. We can also customize the functionalities according to our need. So let's Google Strapi Plugin Development to learn more about plugin development. Again I am to Google this one, yeah, Strapi Plugin Development. So first I am going to click on this link, and I am also going to click on this link also. So let me close these. Yeah. Yeah. So now these are the official documentations for it. You can read more about the official documentations and how Strapi work. And the other one is also the official documentation, but it's a blog to create a Strapi v4 plugin step by step. So let's first visit this blog on this documentation. Okay. So to generate the plugin, we have to first navigate to the root of a Strapi project then we have to run strapi generate command. So let's do this. Yeah, so let me just close this and use strapi yarn strapi generate. We just close these because we just need to focus on the documentation now. Now click on plugin, generate a basic plugin. Plugin name will be to do. Use TypeScript. So we have created that. We just have to copy this and paste in dot forward slash means in the same folder. In the same folder we have one configuration folder, and inside configuration folders we have to create a file plugins.ts. So let's see in the same configurations folder, and in the configurations folders we need one file plugins.ts. So let's click on this. Now just copy paste this and save the file. Now let's read the blog again. Let's check the spelling again. Plugins.ts. Okay. So we have chosen TypeScript and we have created plugins.ts. Up to step number 5 we have done all these steps. So now we have to run the yarn in the newly created plugin directory. So we are going to first visit where is the newly created plugin directly. So here is the newly created plugin directory. So let's use cd and let me just copy this and paste it here. Now we are in the newly created to do plugin directory. Now I just have to use yarn here. So it will install all the packages required to run the project. Now again let's see the other steps. After using yarn in the newly created plugin directory, I also have to use yarn build in the plugin directory. This step transpiles the transcript files and outputs the JavaScript files to a distribution directory that is unique to the plugin. So let's again use yarn build. So this has created server.json file. Now let's see other steps. Now we have to use yarn build at the project root and then yarn develop. So let's again see this. So as we are in the project root, let's use yarn build again. And after yarn build, we have to use yarn develop at the project root. It's a very important skill to always read the official documentation and follow them step by step. Now let's use yarn develop at the project root. Let's again click on open in browser. Let's click on open the administrator. Just use your ID password that you have used while creating this. See, now we are able to create the to do plugin. So project building is not about just writing code, but also how to do the research work and effectively use AI and Google. So let's save the code in Git repository. So I'm going to save this code to Git repository. In case I mess up the code, I can still revert back to previous position. Let's again use Ctrl C to stop the process. And let's use git status to see. Yes, we have some untracked and changed files, and use git add to add all the files. Then again I'm going to use git commit. So we have created a plugin. So again use git status. So now we have saved all those information and changes to our git repository. So again let me just close this. Let's again come to second URL because we have done all of these things. Let's again come to second URL. So the first page is similar to the first blog or the official documentation then that we read. So let's again come to file structure part 2. So until now we have created a plugin. We just have to inject some components, right? So let's inject some components. And to do this, we have to like copy this code and saved in source admin app.js. But this is a JavaScript code, but in our case we are using TypeScript, so we will use app.ts. Okay, so let me just copy the code. Yeah, and it's inside source admin app.js. So again we will come to source admin. So there is no app.ts file, so we are going to create one file, app.ts. So let me just close this and just copy this code again in source admin app.ts. Source admin app.ts. Let me save this code again. So now for the second file, we have to create extensions folder. So let's copy this, and in admin we need one extensions folder. Yeah. Inside extensions folder, let's create one more folder, and the name of the folder will be tweet button. Admin extensions tweet button. So inside tweet button we will use index.js, but this is a React code, so we are going to use index.tsx. tsx in our case. So we are in source admin extensions tweet button index.tsx. Source admin extensions tweet button index.tsx. Just copy this code here. and paste it here. Okay, so some error. Yeah, let's again copy this and paste the code and save. So it seems there are lots of errors, but as a full stack developer, we love to remove errors and bugs. So let's try to fix the errors and bugs. So let's first come to app.ts. Let me just close this one. So it is saying us that the code is like written like that we have to import the tweet button from extensions components tweet button. But inside admin, we just have extensions. We do not have the components folder. So let's delete this. Okay, now working. Perfect. Let's come to index.tsx. It is also showing some errors. It also feels like we have to fix some paths in this code also, but let's check the node modules folder. So @strapi means these are node modules. So inside node modules, we have to look for Strapi folder. And inside Strapi folder, there is one design system folder. And inside design system folder, there is no button, file or the folder. So let's just fix this. Perfect. Now again in Strapi, search for icons. Again inside icons, there is no Twitter folder. Now we have also removed this error also. But still we have fixed the path for the Twitter component, but still there is one error. It is saying it's because of type of import. Okay. So let's ask AI how to use Twitter icon in packages, Strapi icons. So now let's compare the code. So let's again try to compare the code. So by comparing the code, I got the idea that I have to use curly braces here. Let's save the code. Now it is working well. Again, let me show you one more thing. So let's search for @strapi and icons. And let's check for package.json. So it is saying that there are some typical files inside the distribution folder. So if you are facing some error, it's the best to first check the packages. Maybe there are some errors, or you are just visiting, you are just importing the packages from the wrong source. So let's click on distribution and check for index.js. G, H and I. Yeah. So no information. Let's check for index.mjs. So let's search for Twitter in the file. Let's just close these and search here. See, we got Twitter here. So it is saying us that it's a named import, not a default import. So there are two type of imports as named and default. So let's ask AI what's the difference between named and default imports to show you why we are doing like this. And click on ask now. So you can read more about named and default imports, right? So as we have like already debugged the error, so let's try to debug the last error. But I am just showing it that you can use AI to search for all these things. You can even use React here to show you the difference between named and default imports. See, this is the example for default import, but in our case, as we are using named import, so that's why we have to use the curly braces this time. So now for the last error, so the VS Code is highlighting us object is possibly null. So let's just copy this and try to find the error. So let's visit Stack Overflow, but most of the answers are at the bottom of the page. So let's go to the bottom of the page. Yeah, here you can see. So let's try this solution. Okay, we just have to put one. Yeah, perfect. Now we are able to remove all of the errors. Great. Now again we have to use yarn build because we have changed the code. So let's use yarn build. We just close this. And after that yarn develop. Let's use yarn develop this time. And click on open in browser. Open the administration. Let me just close this. Yeah, everything is working fine. So we are able to remove all the errors. Now after removing the bugs, we just have to put some content before using the plugin, right? Because right now in our content management system, we still do not have any content. So let's use Strapi how to create content. How to use, let's use Google, and the keyword is Strapi how to create content. Okay. So you can research and watch the videos, right? But to save time, Let me show you this, how to create the content. You just have to click on content type builder. You can use the demo to learn more. Let's create a new collection type, and the display name will be restaurant. So why I am using the display name will be restaurant is that, let me show you here, because I have closed the tab, because this is the allowed content, because we are just copy pasting the plugin. This plugin is the official example from the official documentation, and this plugin what will do is that it will use to share your content to the social media site Twitter. So it has some code written, and the allowed type is restaurant. So let's use restaurant here, and API ID will be restaurant, and this one is also will be restaurant, and I am going to use a text. So the name of my restaurant will be name, just for making it easy, and click on finish. Let's click on add another field. This time use rich text and description, and also finish this. After using this, just click on save this button, and it will automatically restart. So we have to restart the server, right? So after a few seconds, let's restart the server. Now create on content manager. See, we have created a new collection type as restaurant. Let's create new entry. The name of the restaurant will be test, and description about the restaurant will be demo, or you can write anything, and just save this. You can also click on publish, doesn't matter. Now again come to restaurant, click on this, and click on share on Twitter. Oh, one more error. So when I tried to share the content on Twitter, nothing happened. So one more error. So let's again try to inspect this error. Let's inspect and go to console. So it is suggesting us cannot read properties of undefined. So there may be some object that we are accessing using some wrong property names. So let me just use my research skills again. Okay. Let's close these. Yeah. Again, search for it. Yeah. Let me close this also. Yeah. So it is suggesting us these problems. These problems are just because, let me show you, because we have examples file. If you want, you can delete this examples file first. Then just save this and see, no problem now. Okay. So now let's again search meta title here. So this is the code. So let me just use my debugging skills again, and this time I am going to use console.log. Yeah. And let's use console.log this time. And right here modified data. Let's save this. Again use yarn build because we have changed some code. And after that yarn develop. Now yarn develop. Let me close these. So open in browser. Content manager again, restaurant. Click on this, share on Twitter. Nothing happened. Again inspect because we have planted console.log. So it is suggesting us two objects. See, here is the problem. The name of the first property should be name and the other one will be IT. So let's again decomment it. And here it should be name. It should be name. Yeah. And the other one should be IT. Let's again save this. Yeah. Name and ID. Name and ID. Close the process. Again yarn build because again we have changed the code. And then yarn develop. And click on open in browser. We just close this. Just click on this and click on share on Twitter. So see, we are able to remove this problem also. And these problems that you are seeing here is not because of our code, but because of the cache created by the GitHub Codespaces. So you don't have to worry about this. So we are able to do that. You can log in into your, Gmail or any other account and you can share your content now to Twitter. See, today we also learn about what is CMS and content management system, right? And we use our debugging skills to solve the problem. So you can now join Juniorit.Ai and our Discord server and start your development journey from zero to hero in development. So thank you for joining the class.